Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IB Sports Week 11. We're running out of those days. Week 11 NFL kickoff show. As always, I am joined by Rodney Sand. That's what we're going to call you, Rodney Sand.
No, we're never going to call me that. We
Rodney
are never going to.
Yep.
You're actually not allowed to call me Rodney. People that
I said Rodney, didn't I? I really did.
Bro.
Say it out when I talk to you, your name. I should have said Alan Sand. Well, you call me Ronnie anyway, so F you, bro.
That's your damn name, ain't it?
That's your name.
No, Rodney's not. Nobody calls me Rodney except for
but it is your name.
But it's not, though. It's not.
Your first name.
No, it's not, actually. My name is Alan. Like when
I signed documents, Alan Sandridge.
That's what it says on my driver's license. Yes, unfortunately.
So how's that not? Man, what you got?
What do you mean? Bro? You call me what I asked you to call me, bro. Didn't Muhammad Ali teach y'all anything?
You call me Ronnie.
No,
that's my name.
Well, what do you want to be called? What does your mom call you?
I know black people call RC. Don't know black people call me Ronnie.
My bad. I call you RC.
Only white people call me Ronnie at work and school and stuff.
Maybe I just want to act. I mean, you give them more attention than you give us. I just want to be acknowledged. Man. I call you Ronnie with work. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. Look, now I can't even say that. You go to your place.
Like you don't know me like that. You behind the commissioner veil, like the what's his name, Kevin. Y'all behind. We got there's a barrier for some of these people. I know you want to hate, so let's do it. Joe Burrow got hurt. He's out for the season. He had an injury before the game that he didn't disclose. What are your thoughts on that situation, sir?
I mean, man, they keep doing this thing, and then this time he actually is hurt. I still don't buy the calf injury. I don't buy it. I think he was just playing bad. But at the end of the day, none of it matters because he stays hurt. Accumulation of hits. Now, if he was really hurt before the game and the Bengals didn't disclose that, then for real, the NFL needs to come down heavy on them because this is the second time this year something like that has happened. And I'm not talking about fantasy and I'm not talking about my betting. I'm just talking about in general, people need to disclose the injuries because that is the freaking rules, man. That's the rules. Like just put them as questionable or probable every single week. Belichick did that with Tom Brady. Nobody paid attention to that, man. Like people keep saying Bill was playing with it when he did it with Tom Brady. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady was banged up most of his career.
Every week anyway.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, just do it. Just follow the rules, man. Because what's going to end up happening, and everybody keeps saying that I'm overreacting, but the integrity of the game is going to keep coming into question to the point where ain't nobody going to believe in anything. And whether people want to admit it or not, the stupid daily fantasy, the stupid gambling, all of that is a big boost to viewership. It really is. I can't tell you how many Thursday night games I've tuned in personally just because I had a dumb side bet on it or something. So if you
NFL to another level, obviously gambling has always been a thing, but fantasy made it so you're gonna watch every game. Like there's something to the NFL that makes you want to watch all day long. It's like March Madness every Sunday. That's what people treat it like. So, a lot of that is fantasy, and a lot of that is gambling. So we can't escape that.
Yeah.
But as for the injury itself, I mean, you've said it a lot of times. You've been really focused on it because you had a vested interest in them drafting Penei Sewell. I don't think they'd be as successful, but I don't know if you got to go trade. So many teams they go trade for a big time receiver and give up all those picks or a quarterback. If you're the Bengals, you're not in a situation where you need first round draft picks. You don't need high draft picks. You're in a win now situation. So maybe you trade a couple first round picks and maybe somebody wouldn't give it up, but maybe there's a left tackle that's not happy. You got to go get him a guard. Maybe there's something you got to give up a first round pick, but you got to get the line fixed immediately.
What I don't want to see is Joe Burrow with a rookie left tackle. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, that's not unless you find a great one.
Myles Garrett and TJ Watt is in this division. They get blocked. He plays them 4 times a year. 4 times a year. And we're not even talking about the Ravens, and they got a collective pass rush, collective defense. Yeah. You are not in a division where you got time to wait. And here's my thing. You can scout and find somebody that can at least be serviceable. They haven't found one truly serviceable offensive line unit since he's been in the league, And I'm telling you right now, the kid is going to be out the league because of injuries in less than 4 years. Less than 4 years. Like look at his injury toll so far and where
He
he's
got hurt
at.
his rookie year. Everybody forgets he blew out his. Like at some point, when you're not 100%, when your body is constantly hurt, you got the calf, you got the ACL. Now you got what is it, a hand thing? Like every part of his body is going to be covered in some sort of injury. And what people miss for these athletes is you don't heal all the way correctly every time. You're not going to necessarily be 100%. You're going to always feel that. So I'm worried about Joe Burrow. Obviously, phenomenal talent, but you got to protect it.
Schematically, they got to help him too. Like
that too many long.
Yeah,
we talked about that a lot. Too many long passes. Get the ball out the man's hand and take some shot play. You got to change how you play. Let's go to before we get to the big game. Browns and the Steelers 6-3 at 6-3. It's amazing the Browns are 6-3, which is the baddest quarterback plays they've had. Spread is 1 in favor of Cleveland. I will say this, and for whoever's watching or whatever, if Mike Tomlin has this team make the playoffs, I will personally apologize because this is a trash team. This is a trash team, and if he can get them in the playoffs, all forgiveness, I'll let it go. I'll apologize.
I mean, I'll accept your apology, but I'm not going to forgive him for. I'm not going to forgive him for sticking with Matt Canada, man. This is ridiculous. There's loyalty, and then there's I'm being held hostage. Help me. Like this is I'm being held hostage. Help me. It's just bad, man.
Maybe it's like a built-in excuse for him. I don't know, but it's pretty bad. But the fact that they can overcome that, but they're getting outscored for the year, and they still find ways to win. They don't have a quarterback. The rushing blocking run blocking is not good.
It's terrible.
Defense is good, but it's not all world. Like you can't even figure out how he's winning. Actually, you can't figure out how he's winning because their red zone defense is like really, really good. But he's finding ways to win. Now, obviously, he's not Bill Parcells, but I'm gonna give the man his due, even though he's kind of like Larry Brown, where he can coach a team that doesn't have talent, but the team that has talent, he don't know what to do with it. But anyway, I'm gonna give the man his props. I'm gonna give you your flowers, Mike Tomlin. But you know what's gonna happen today? They're gonna choke and lose miserably and look unprepared.
I mean, it could very well happen. I just can't get behind DTR in his first start against a divisional opponent.
I
know. And he said all the right things leading up to this. Like, hey, I got a whole week. I got the nerves out. Yada yada yada. Like he's saying all the right things, but I just like to me the defense will have to win it again, and that's very likely. But it's just something about this goofy Steelers team that they just find a way to win games, and I think today that's what they do.
DTR was really good in the preseason, and I saw things from him that I liked. I'm trying to remember who it was I liked too. Well, I don't want to say that, but it wasn't Josh Rosen. It kind of reminded me of the way I liked Josh Rosen. I saw things I liked, and then I saw things I really didn't like. But I saw the potential there. I was way too high on Josh Rosen. But I wouldn't be surprised if DTR, I don't really believe in him. It reminds me a lot of Jordan Love, the way he played. Maybe a little bit more athletic. But, Jordan Love is something's there, but it's always something missing too. So I don't know.
I know what's missing with Jordan Love. DTR just, you gotta, like, for me, you gotta make him make the plays. Make him make the plays. Make him have to get the first down with his mind and with his arm or with his legs. Put it on him. Take Hunt out the game. Take Cooper out the game. Take Njoku out the game. Put it solely on him to make plays. Now, if he does that, then we go to option B where we actually try to come up with a way to stop him. But until he shows you that he can do that consistently throughout this game, then I would just stack the box or drop coverage to one side, which is probably Cooper's side, and see what we get, man. Like take a couple chances early on defensively to see how he handles it and then go from there, because a lot of these dudes are allowed to get comfortable. And that's when they lose to get Josh Dobbs. Got allowed to get comfortable in that Falcons game, right? That's how he won it. You gotta make them uncomfortable early.
All right, so who you got?
I'm gonna stick with the Steelers, but again, would not be totally shocked if the Browns defense won it.
There's a lot of evidence for the Steelers. They're 6-1 against the spread in their past 7 road games. Uh, it, I don't know.
This division is tough.
Yeah, it really is. And you got DTR. You don't know how he's going to play. I'm going to go with the Steelers just because of Tomlin on this particular case. Hopefully I'm wrong. So if I believe in Tomlin this week and he's wrong, I'm going to go. If I'm wrong, I'm going to go off. So
I'm going to blame you. I'm going to solely blame you.
Definitely going to go off. So
you get away from me.
But I hope I'm wrong. Let's go to the Bears and the Lions. 1:00 game on Fox. 7.5 for Detroit is probably moved, I would imagine. But
it's just 8. It's just
okay. 8. Justin Fields returns. What are you expecting from Mr. Fields?
I'm expecting him to use his legs because I don't think he's fully healed to be throwing the ball like that. But one of the things that I thought was interesting is that the Lions' strength of their offense has been running the ball. And surprisingly, one of the biggest strengths for the Bears defense is their rushing defense. I wouldn't have thought that, but it'll be strength versus strength. And I think this Lions defense has been very susceptible to having points scored on them lately. And we rag on the Bears offense, but they're still one of the top scoring offenses in the NFL. They don't win games. Yeah, you get Division II kid and garbage time, yada yada, but 7.5 is a lot of points, and that's what we're talking about. So I like the Bears to backdoor this somehow. And the Lions also got a little bit of a look at his spot. That Thanksgiving game against the Packers is always a big deal for them. So it's a good spot for the Bears to be sandwiched into. They don't have to worry about the Lions coming in fully aggressive because they just won against the Chargers. So it's a good spot for the Bears, I think.
I'm gonna be the square. I just think the Lions are on a roll. They're playing so well. They've won 6 in a row against division opponents, and they just own that division lately. So again, my enemies are prospering, and that's not a good place to be.
And it's got you out here second guessing yourself. Look at you.
I know.
Tomlin and me here. You're disgusting.
I'm willing to, like people say, I don't admit I'm wrong. I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong about both these
coaches. No.
I wait in the weeds for Dan Campbell, though. You wait, because y'all said all this stuff, and he's gonna end up doing the same thing Jim Caldwell did. It's gonna be the same thing.
When he lose Ben Johnson, it's gonna be a wrap. When he loses,
that's definitely gonna be. But he's gonna go to the playoffs. He's gonna lose. He's gonna go like 10-6. Well, they can't go 10-6, but 10-7, 11-6, and then lose, and then they're gonna go backward. Same exact thing, but they're gonna get hyped up. You know why they're getting hyped up? One over the other, and I guess because he's a meathead, he's got some kind of steroid charisma. But in the end, it's the same thing.
But
nobody got excited like this for Jim Caldwell.
I did, and you ragged on me when we were talking about Jim Bob Cooter and Matthew Stafford and Golden Tate, man. Golden Tate.
No non-Wakandans got excited for
that.
Let's see. The game of the week, Richard comeback, Eagles and the Chiefs Super Bowl rematch. What do you think is wrong with the Chiefs defense? I mean, Chiefs offense. Chiefs defense.
I would say nothing wrong with their defense. What's wrong with the Chiefs offense is they ain't got no damn playmakers. That's all it is. I mean, Kelsey makes plays, but I'm talking like their receiving core. They're not like standout guys. They're good, but they're not great. And we've seen them have at least one great player in the entire time that Patty's been there. He's one wide receiver outside of last year with Juju. But they just need a real wide receiver one. And I think Rice is slowly molding into that, but he still has games where he just disappears too. So that would be the only thing. Once they fix that, and if they can get something out of one of their like vertical threats like Hardman or somebody to be that Deshaun Jackson type player for Andy Reid's offense, they'll be fine. And again, this defense is holding them down, man.
They are. I really struggle. I mean, you got Rashid Rice, and last year it came around, but you had Juju. But
Juju's
Scantling is not, but
overrated.
it was something. He just made big plays. Scantling is not good. He's very overrated. He's a deep threat that really doesn't go deep that often. Pause.
His
But
route tree is a
he,
line.
yeah, he's not. I mean, he's fast, but let's
I
see.
would even call him that.
Valdez Scantling.
I would even
But
call
it's
him
like
fast.
they say he's this great deep threat, but he doesn't really. Let's see what he got. Last year, he had 42 catches, 687 yards, 16.4 carry. I guess the one season with the Packers, he had 20.9, but 33 catches, 690 yards. The most yards he's ever gotten in a season is 690 and 33 catches, 42 catches last year with the Chiefs. This is not a guy that's a factor, but they keep mentioning his name. Like every game that you hear the preview of the Chiefs, you mention his name. He's not a factor catching 33 balls in a year. That's not somebody that's really occasionally, but that's not, there's 17 games. He's
Yeah,
not really a factor.
and they give people an idea of what that kind of boils down to. What the Chiefs drop back at least 35, 40 times a game. So he's getting like two catches. He's getting like 2 catches a game.
that's not somebody we would mention. There are guys doing that on people's fantasy benches that he's been in some big games with Aaron Rodgers. So we know him, and Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay plays on Sunday Night Football. That's why people know who he is. But no. Typically these games, it seems like to me that the Super Bowl revenge team wins, but according to the stats, the Super Bowl champion is 6-2 in these kind of games.
Is it
so
because
favors
isn't
them.
usually
Andy
the
Reid coming off a bye?
isn't usually the champion hosting too?
Yeah,
they
that's
usually
true.
try to that does
usually
factor.
That's what it was. Andy Reid is 23 and 21-3 outright. And 15.
He's a monster. He's a monster off the bye. I hope everybody knows that. Yeah,
too. But I just think the Eagles want it really bad. This is something like the Super Bowl champion. You're going in there. The Eagles' offense hasn't looked that great. Maybe they'll have something for. I mean, the Eagles' defense should be able to play really well against the Chiefs' offense. And I'm heavy on I'm bullish on.
I don't know about all that, bro.
Very bullish.
I have no problems with the Eagles, man, and I know their fan base probably hates me because I just keep calling it like it is, and I'm gonna call it like it is again. That defense is below average if they can't get no pass rush.
Yeah.
They can't cover. They can't cover nobody. And I know we just spent 5 minutes talking about the receivers and how they ain't got nothing, but I tell you what, them crossing patterns and them mesh concepts gonna be eating y'all's ass alive on one day. I'm guaranteeing Patty's not holding that ball for more than 3 seconds at all if he can help it. And then Jalen Carter's amazing. Everybody knows I love him. My favorite player out of the young crop of guys in there. But you can scheme around him. You can scheme around this defensive pressure. And it's just a matter of committing to getting yards on first and second down. And I would argue that the Chiefs still, since Andy Reid has been their head coach, have been one of the best first and second down teams in the league. It's probably not something people pay a lot of attention to, but it allows you to get in these third and shorts where you get people guessing, are they going to pass? Are they going to run? And we don't know what they'll do. And they can do that. They can move the ball in short yardage situations through the air, or we've seen they've been creative enough to get those short yardages on the ground as well. Defensively, the can cover I was gonna call him AB. Sorry, bro. They can cover AJ Brown and Smith, and just kind of make it difficult for Hurts. I think this game just falls on Hurts' shoulders. If he's efficient, no turnovers, they win. If he turns the ball over at least once, they're not going to win.
It's also a Chris Jones type of game. It's kind of game he dominates.
Oh yeah,
Chris Jones. Yeah. He's been a little quiet, but look for him to dominate. Who do you have?
I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that's what you had. All right, Chiefs. Chargers at the Packers, 1:00. Chargers favored by 3 on the road at Green Bay. That seems odd to me. Neither one of these teams are exceptionally good. Obviously, the Chargers are more.
What do you mean? The Chargers got Justin Herbert. They're good.
Yeah, what's that good for?
Hey, let everybody else tell it's good for all these things that apparently Lamar Jackson isn't worth. I'm gonna leave it alone though.
So evidently, this stat came out this week that they are exactly 500, and it was something weird like they've given up the same amount of yards as they have. They get up the same amount of yards and had the same amount of yards.
Wasn't it they scored the same amount of points that they
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Scored, yeah, not only are they 500, but they've scored and given up the same amount of points.
Now, with that information, you want to take them to cover 3?
Hell no.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying it's a wrong, it's a right or wrong.
At home, and now I'd have to look at it. I feel like Jordan Love has been better at home.
Probably. I mean, Jordan Love has been exactly what he's been exactly what I thought he would be. But here's my thing. The reason why I kind of like the Packers here, and I'm going to take the Packers money line. I'll just throw that out there right now. But one of the reasons why I like them is that they do have one corner, Jair Alexander. He's a pretty good corner that can cover that pretty good hobbled receiver in Keenan Allen. And then we will have to make Justin Herbert spread the ball around, and he just hasn't been comfortable doing that lately. And I think that'll play a factor. The weather, I mean, it's going to be under 50. This is a West Coast team. They're not used to that. It's probably their first game in the air quote element.
I wonder what their over 32 stat is, like over 32 degrees, or that stat they used to give for, who was it? Tampa Bay. It was some team. They had a horrible record if the temperature was over or under 35. But I guess I was wrong. But you look at it.
I was putting up my hand saying it was the Niners, probably. We were really bad in those games.
So he is more accurate at home at 60.5% to 56.9. Average yards per throw is about the same, but he has 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions at home, and 10 touchdowns and 6 interceptions away. So I can't make sense of it. He's like inconsistent, which is what you expect. I'm gonna go with you. I might even listen to you and go money line. Definitely go spread. With the Packers, the 3. That's just too easy.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot, man. Because, like, for real, like the Chargers, they haven't really been that great, honestly. And like you said, they give up just as many points as they score. It's worth a shot to me.
We got the Raiders, in my Chris Berman voice, traveling to the Dolphins. 13.5 is a lot. We haven't seen the Dolphins really pound someone, in a while. But this seems like a game where they would just go off and run up the score on somebody.
I can't wait to see the single high defense that the Raiders love to bring.
They got very stubborn.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. God bless everybody in that secondary. Tyreek and Waddle about to go ham. Chain, I think is his name. He coming back. He about to go ham too. 13.5 is a lot, but this is their first road game, right? Since the QB switch. Yeah. First road game since the QB switch. They're traveling to the East Coast. Dolphins coming off a bye, and we all know Mike McDaniels and these guys feel like, when they're playing a 500 team, they are definitely at their best. So I got to go with the Dolphins here.
So back to what I was saying, and I think it's because of who they're playing. The offense for the Dolphins ranks 20th in EPA per play on offense since week 7. I think it's who they're playing because they can beat up on these bad teams, and I don't think they're front runners. I just think when they play, it's like when you play on offense that people don't see much, and they don't have the talent to deal with it. You're going to struggle like in college. If somebody's got a talented team with a system that's hard to prepare for, and you're mediocre, you're going to get killed. But if it's a talented team versus a talented team with a unique offense, not only probably is the coaching better, but the personnel to stop it is better.
I mean, I get that, but I don't see a whole lot of differences in what McDaniels does and what Shanahan does, except for personnel-wise. Like I feel like schematically,
personnel.
Yeah,
I was from him, so it's not crazy.
I know, but I just think there's enough data schematically that you shouldn't come into this game and look like the Broncos did when they played them. Like you look totally unprepared.
But they had that wrinkle. They had that wrinkle that they were doing with the motion.
Yeah, he does have
and in the speed, I think they had Arcane. I can't even say his name. but they had the motions. They had a lot of speed with the run. They just weren't ready for.
I expect the motions though, and I expect the motions, but I expect you to also not be man to man so much, man.
Yeah, a lot. And
I don't
he would have 3
understand
runs,
that.
20 yards down the field. It was quite amazing. It was. Who you got?
I'm gonna lay it with the Dolphins, but I hope they don't cover so I can keep talking trash to their fan base.
Giants and the Commanders. I'm not sure that deserves. What do I have up here?
Should be 9.5. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 9.5. I can't. I mean, God, it's depressing. NFC East last year, all that trash we were talking. Everybody was going to make the playoffs. 3 teams did.
You are who I thought you were.
Yeah. Washington should be favored. I don't care how bad the Giants are. And let me just say this more for Joe. Little Tommy / Danny DeVito, his stats are almost identical to Daniel Jones this year. That should be concerning. But really bad for Daniel Jones. On the other hand, who could Washington beat by 9.5 points that we'd be willing to lay money on? Outside of Colorado, I wouldn't.
I don't even know, man. Like, I say this. Danny DeVito is the worst quarterback I've seen in my entire life. Starting an NFL game.
You know what though? Like, I give Nathan Peterman credit. He's the worst quarterback.
Yeah. I thought Peterman was bad.
Nathan was slinging it without conscience. And you got to have a little talent to throw interceptions, because that means you saw something, but maybe you just couldn't get it there. You couldn't time. This dude is so bad.
I felt bad for the Cowboys, man. I know they were bored, man.
You gotta have a degree of accuracy.
That's a long game.
You got to think about this, and people that are listening. You have to have a little bit of accuracy to throw an interception, because it's got to be in the range. It's a miscue. This dude is just terrible. How is he in the NFL? Who drafted him? Who looked at the tape and said, you know what, Danny DeVito is the dude, and we know his name's not Danny DeVito. No.
I actually didn't know his name wasn't Danny DeVito. I don't know who he is. He's bad. He's bad. I mean, I thought Badgett was bad.
Badgett shows flashes, man. He went to the Manning camp.
I'm gonna lay it with the Commanders, man. I can't.
That's why Badgett is better than Stroud, because he went to Manning camp.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. You get that Manning.
You know what's so funny though? It's a tangent, but the Mannings are like the coolest dudes ever, and people try to push this like old school. What Archie's kind of like that, but they try to push this old school mayonnaise narrative on it, but they're not like that, because they've been around black people their whole lives, so they're not like that. But they try to make them into, like, they try to use them as a way to hurt Stroud, but that's not how the Mannings are.
Yeah, I don't think they would ever say anything negative about anybody that's a current athlete. They might,
that's like a quarterback.
Yeah, especially Peyton. Like, Peyton ain't like that. Peyton want to help. Peyton wants you to win. He wants you to be successful. Even if he don't even agree with what you're doing, he gives you. You see that on the Manning cast. There have been times where people do some stuff. He's like, I don't really like that, but hey, it worked. Like, they seem like cool dudes. So I don't understand it, and that's college football being college football, man, and these analysts being stupid. But also,
new crusade. Yeah, well, let's move on to the. I guess I got the Giants, but I wouldn't do anything with that. We're big spread again for the Cowboys, second week in a row. But I want to talk about Bryce Young. What have you seen? What do you think of him so far?
I mean, he's okay. He just needs some help, man. He needs talent. Like, he's a playmaker who doesn't have playmakers around him. That's the thing. And he's in a league where there's an adjustment, man. You got to adjust to the game speed and things like that. I don't think he's been that awful. And I keep going back to the game that they played against the Texans. He looked like the better quarterback in that one game sample. So it's not like it ain't no potential there. CJ Stroud is just literally, like, he's amazing. He's a QB god. I don't have anything negative to say about CJ Stroud, but Bryce Young in any other year is just fine too. He just needs more talent. Give him some time.
I hate on CJ Stroud, but if CJ Stroud was in Carolina, I don't know if he looked the same, but he wouldn't look that much better. No weapons, no line, not separation.
Anything.
Like, what are you doing? And even me with Will Levis, I don't like Will Levis. And I look at some of the tape, a lot of times he dropped back and nobody was open. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
If you can't, and the way Carolina, Frank Reich is washed. He does the same kind of offense Dallas does, where there's not a lot of motions, not a lot of stat things. Like, if your offense in 2023 is simply beat your man, that's horrible. It's 2022 and you're not the Big 12. If it's just line up and beat the dude in front of you, that you can't do that unless you got the damn Cowboys. And that's struggle. Sometimes that struggles with us. Like you can't do that unless you got the best people. And Kansas City can't even do that. Only Kelsey can do it. Like you can't just say beat your guy in 2023, and especially when you don't have it. I guess Miami could do that and be decent. They don't, but you can't do that to a guy. Everything this is a rant. I'm on Frank Wright because Wilk should have had the job, but everything they do in Carolina on offense, the guys got worse. The line, the QB play, the receivers, everything is worse. I don't know what happened to Frank Wright, but
I don't know what happened to their run game. I'm like, bro,
that's terrible.
Hubbard, Chuba Hubbard was like, he was good in college. He was, to me, I thought he'd be a very successful NFL running back. And then they got Miles Sanders in the offseason, and we see what he can do. It's not like he's setting the world on fire, but he ain't no 0.5 per carry type person. And then here's the other thing that lets me know that, God bless him, Frank Wright's a bad coach. We don't even see checkdowns to the running back. Where's my checkdowns, yo?
Hey, like if you like that, with a quarterback like that,
and the offensive line, you just put that stat up. The guy getting hit all the time. Like that's a fundamental element of, hey, my offensive line is bad.
He's more durable than we thought. He only missed one game and he'd been sacked freaking 29 times. So he's more durable than we thought. And also, he can't see if the freaking line is collapsing in his face. So you can't allow him to be in those situations.
I think I seen him on the center one time. I want to say I seen him on the center.
I'm scared he's gonna. I'm scared he's gonna ruin him. And everybody's like, "Oh, see, I told you." No, you got to put him in a decent damn situation. Titans and the Jaguars 6-3. Oh no.
We didn't make our picks. You just skipped over because
I think 10 is a lot. It's a big letdown situation.
Don't you be a sucker. Don't you be a sucker.
The 10 hopefully isn't the Cowboys a sucker?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you better be saying Panthers.
No, I'm saying Panthers.
All right, good. Don't be a sucker.
Yeah. So road favorites of at least 7 points are 0-8-1 this year, 4-5 outright. We lost the Arizona game, but also I know my team, right? This is the kind of game we played the Eagles close, proved something to somebody. We blew the crap out of the Giants, and now we go on the road against a team that's 1-8. Maybe we cover. I feel like it might be can you do a backdoor cover of a favorite? Because if we do win,
man,
we're going to get it on the other way.
People do it all the time, man. The Jets got me infamously last year. They threw an interception. They took a safety, and that's how I got backdoor covered by the favorite. But and you got the game again, the Commanders game on Thanksgiving. That's a big deal. Like you don't think these players is
looking ahead to Thursday.
Looking ahead to Thursday. So I think it's a good spot to back the Panthers for a shot. And if they blow the Panthers out here, that would be very uncharacteristically surprising for the Cowboys.
Now I'm I know during the week, I know what gamblers should do, but I'm too emotional to be successful long term or too instinctive because I have to stop myself and think. But when I look at it, the plays that always make the most sense from a gambling perspective are the ones that make no sense as a fan.
Yeah.
So I've started to say, okay, my first instinct would be, the Cowboys can blow them out. Once you take that out of your head, like this is probably going to be, at the very least, this could be a close game in the first half because that's how these kind of games work.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's really the way you got to look at it. And then you got to also realize that sometimes it's just about the number. 10.5 is that's not a key number.
Lot.
10 is, but like by and large, we've probably seen more blowouts this season than we've seen in years past. But like you said, road favorites don't typically blow out the home dog. That's not how it works. Like the Cowboys did it to the Giants in week 1, and I was shocked by that too. But when the Giants came to Dallas, heck no, I knew that was going to be a blowout. That's a totally different scenario.
Do you think the Jazz can get back on track? That was humiliating. But like I tell it's like my best work friend, my neighbor. He's a Jags fan. He's from Florida. And I was like, y'all just got caught in a buzzsaw. Y'all got caught in a thing where the Niners had lost 3 games in a row, and I think maybe they'd come back from. I can't remember if they come back. No, it been the London games a while back because they beat the Bills. But you just caught the buzzsaw. Now, granted, you aren't on the Niners level, but you aren't that far away. You aren't that bad.
Shit, yeah, I disagree. I mean, you got caught by the healthy roster of the best team in football. I've been saying it all year. This isn't me speaking as a Niners fan. I'm being completely honest with you. If every player on every team was perfectly healthy and you lined them up, if we turned injuries off this season, you line these teams up, the Niners would beat the majority of them. And the ones that we think are really good, there's only like 2 of them. And the Jags are not one of those teams. They're not on that level.
You were a Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah, there's a huge gap between where the Jags are and teams' favorite to win the Super Bowl. And so if I'm a Jags fan, I'm not going to read into it too much. Like, we're just not there yet, and that's perfectly fine. But what they need to do is they got to refocus because they can mess around and lose this division to the Texans, man. Like, and it's not something and that's not something we even considered possible at the beginning of the year, but it's a very likely possibility. And
that's definitely I think it might happen. They play around too much. They play around way too much.
This game is really important.
7 seems rich, but I take the Jags, but 7 seems very rich.
Man, I want to take the Jags, but Derrick Henry be kicking their ass, man. It's crazy.
4-1 is favorites. 4-1 against the spreads is favorites. So there is that.
Bro, do you know the stat though? He's like the only player since LaDainian Tomlinson, running back wise, that has on average 100 yards and a touchdown against this team his entire career.
Wow.
It's crazy. So that makes me worry. And we'll know because he usually knocks off a 60-yard run in the first quarter. So we'll know if he can stay under 50 yards in the first quarter, they got a shot.
All right, let's do these last couple kind of quick because
that lines up to 6, I think now.
We got the Cardinals and the Texans 4.5. Little Mighty Mouse is back, and the Cardinals were playing close, and maybe the Texans are too young to have like a letdown here. I think they just expose them and they beat them. I think maybe it's a sucker bet or what, but you would think the 4.5 is easy money. But I'd have to see how much money is coming in on the Texans. But it seems almost too obvious, but I don't know.
There's not a lot of money coming in on the Texans.
I didn't think.
I was on the Cardinals spread. I was on the Cardinals spread. Cardinals money line shot here. Cardinals with Kyler Murray. This is the spots that they usually cover at least. They're actually not a bad road team when he plays. And they'll be competitive because they got him as long as he stays healthy. So you got to remember, Gannon he's a decent defensive coordinator. That's me being nice about it because I don't like him. But DCs that turn head coaches typically have do good jobs in these spots, unless you're Staley.
I don't know. He doesn't look like a defense coordinator. Would you respect him as your defense coordinator? Like your defense coordinator should look like they've been in many fights. Whether it's Ryan,
Gannon doesn't look like that either.
Now
exactly doesn't look like that.
Buddy Ryan, Rex Ryan, the other dude. These dudes have scrapped before. They've scrapped on the field. You know what I'm saying? Dude, D'Amico Ryans. It looks like at least they played in the league. They have had violence in their lives. How you gonna respect a defensive dude that no violence ever been part of their life?
I always like when people talk about this. Look at Salah and look at Mike McDaniels. They used to share a coaches meeting. Just remember that. They're 2 different ends of the spectrum. But yeah, I agree. And the Texans, I think because they're young, a letdown here would make more sense. But CJ Stroud, man, has been amazing. He's been absolutely amazing.
Let's go to you guys, 11.5.
You guys, stop acting like you're not a fan.
What?
You said what about
11.5? No reason to think you wouldn't cover versus the Bucks.
There's plenty of reasons to think we wouldn't cover, man. That's a lot of points, bro. That's crazy. It's a lot of points, and we're still getting over 80% of the tickets. But no, that's too public. I don't give a damn. 13-2 is a home favorite. I don't care.
That is very public, though.
Too public. Let's just get out this game healthy and win the game. Let's just do
y'all that. You aren't mistake prone, so I don't see how they would do anything against y'all, but you never know.
Yeah,
You
nah,
never
for
know.
real. And Baker is definitely, here's the thing, under pressure, he can be under a lot of pressure. So he's definitely prone to just, hey, somebody got to be out there. And if Mike Evans don't feel like playing, then it's definitely gonna be a long day.
That's the thing too. If he wants to, he felt like playing last week. If he wants to break the game open, and he dropped the pass, he still was killing it.
Yeah,
but he dropped a touchdown, and he still was killing it. But I would say y'all to cover. It sounds like you think that the Bucks are gonna cover.
I'm gonna loosely lay money on the Niners to cover, but I'm not running to the gate for it. No.
Jets and the Bills 7.5. Who you got?
Jets to cover.
I don't have any faith on Buffalo anymore. I couldn't bet on them against anybody. So give me the Jets. Hopefully the Bills get it together, but give me the Jets.
This is the ultimate like catch-22, man. I gotta depend on my two favorite people in their particular fields. Josh Allen is my favorite quarterback. Joe Brady is my favorite offensive mind. And I gotta depend on them to save this sucker Sean McDermott's job. This is crap. Absolute crap. Stephon Diggs, my favorite receiver. I need these guys to save Sean McDermott. If I can have a mini rant, you owe me an apology, and I'll accept it at any time. I told you what this dude was. I told you he was not good enough. He's never going to be good enough. He is Zimmer. That's who he is. He's Zimmer. Mike Zimmer of Buffalo is what he is. They need to move on. And I know people are going to be like, wow, he got them this far, that far. It doesn't matter. He's not going to get them to the promised land. They need to find a guy that can get them to the promised land.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right actually about the coach. I mean, but you also have a shelf life, and like sometimes guys are guys that get you almost there, then you need another dude to take you across the finish line. I kind of want to say that about Tony Dungy, but maybe they fired him a year early. I don't know. But I feel like sometimes you just need a guy in a place to take you across that finish line. And McDermott is not that guy.
How did he fire Ken Dorsey for having the
offense? That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's always looked like this. There's nothing wrong with the offense. That's crazy.
Honestly, I would take Ken Dorsey right now in Dallas, and he could be the coordinator next year. There's nothing wrong with him.
I didn't think he did a bad job.
He don't tell that dummy to do that. He don't tell that dummy to throw some of the passes. I mean, you could try to run it. I mean, he's tried the running game. It kind of doesn't work. I don't know. But I know it's not his fault.
I'll look it up, Richard. I don't know, man. I don't pay attention to a lot of
it. Don't look like he played. Who he played? He didn't play in the NFL defensive back, Richie. I know that.
I'm gonna take a look. I'll look it up. But yeah, that's
pretty honest answer.
Like for real, we can't be an NFL show and not openly discuss that. That was definitely a stupid firing. He should not have been blamed.
Look at that man, Richie. Did it look like he played defensive back anywhere outside of Idaho 7-on-7 league?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna check it out. Jonathan Gannon. We looking at it right now.
It's gonna say quality control coach.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, he went to Louisville, but
did he play?
He never played. And you're right, quality control coach,
That's what I'm saying. That man, he don't have a body.
I know, yeah.
He didn't play for Louisville.
I know. Richard was one of the people with me that didn't like him either. I didn't like him. I didn't think he used his personality.
I didn't have a problem with it, but
he didn't use his personality.
I had a problem for what they had, but I don't think he inspires any kind of like anything. Seahawks and the Rams. Looks like the Seahawks are kind of into it. Like I don't know how they win a lot of times, but they do.
They win because they're better. They haven't beaten the team that they haven't been better than, or that you didn't expect them.
That's true.
Expect them to win.
That's
basically true. What it is. But hey, reality setting in today, baby. Rams have always had their number. It don't matter. Rams have always had their number, and they're getting Stafford back. I mean, it's crazy. You got it at 1. The line's actually up to 2. I think people know the history there, and the Seahawks didn't look all that great against the Commanders anyway. It's a perfect spot for them to lose and just chalk it up to them playing a team that they just don't usually beat anyway.
Let's do
I
the
don't know why I
last
keep putting that up.
game. Vikings and the Broncos. The Vikings have actually won 5 straight. 4 of those games have been without Justin Jefferson, who will not play, and 2 of those games without Kirk Cousins. Then you see the Broncos look like they're turning it around. Denver's favored by 2. Sunday Night Football. This is not the game that we would do a live for if we be discussing this. It's going to be ugly, but I don't know. I'm kind of tired of doubting the Broncos. I don't think you can, like, NFL is like this. Everybody would look at that 70-point game and it was humiliating, but they're nowhere near the same team anymore. They're not the same defense. Russell Wilson looks decent and competent. And their defense, I don't want to say it's good, but it's not bad anymore.
They're not beating themselves. I don't think there's anything special about it or anything pretty about it. Like, as a matter of fact, I was complaining the very first drive of the damn Bills game, and they still ended up winning. But they're just not beating themselves. And until somebody actually just flat out beats them, like the Dolphins did at that time, then they're going to continue to win games, I think. And I think that's the recipe to what they're doing. And I'm going to go with the Broncos because of the altitude. I think that's going to play.
You know what?
For real.
It's as logical as anything else.
Yeah, people be shaking their head when I say it, but they're used to it.
But
yeah,
come on,
they're used to
it. The more people see of him, it catches up. And he still is going to play with heart and everything. Give me a good. We have no Corey, so give me your best bet of the week.
My best bet was going to be the Rams, which again, history's there, and the fact they're getting their starting quarterback back, I just think it's a good spot to take them. And then let's give a shot to the Derrick Henry anytime score, man. Derrick Henry's only at 54 yards rushing. I don't know if you guys been watching Will Levis, but I highly doubt that the game plan is going to be let him throw it. And Jags been stacking the box against Derrick Henry for almost a decade. It still ain't worked. So I'm going to go ahead and lean on the history there. And for all you suckers still taking Christian McCaffrey anytime score, if you rolled over your previous 18, you have $0 today because you rolled over for that 19th and he didn't get it. So good luck restarting.
So bad. They were like 210.
That's such stupid ass advice, man. That is the dumbest advice ever.
Who would tell the rollover is idiotic.
Like roll over everything that you had, that's now, man. And gambling is very rare that you can be right 3 to 4 times in a row. We're talking 18 times in a row. Get away from the table at some point, bro. Get up. Go home. Cash out. It's crazy, man.
And I just want to free Mike Evans. They didn't want to get a man a contract. He's done everything he can. Been a Hall of Fame receiver. Hey, let him go to Jack.
Mike Evans?
Yeah, let him go to Jack.
Desmond Ridder got named quarterback again. Again, bro. We are on this for 18 weeks plus the playoffs, and anytime we talk football until it happens, free Kyle Pitts. That's crazy.
Free Drake London for real. They never throw Drake London the ball. Sometimes they throw Pitts the ball.
Free my guys, man. That is ridiculous. They brought him back like they did him a favor, like he off IR or something. He wasn't good.
All right, folks, for Actively Lazy, this is the commish. Have a great football Sunday.